Disclaimer: this narration explores ideas commonly associated with Machiavelli's writings and later interpretations. It is intended for educational purposes, helping listeners recognize influence tactics rather than encouraging unethical behavior. Imagine walking into a room where nobody notices you. Now imagine walking into that same room, and, without raising your voice or demanding attention, everyone naturally begins listening to you. Throughout history, a handful of people mastered this ability to influence others. Among the most famous names associated with power is Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance philosopher whose ideas continue to shape politics, leadership, and strategy centuries later. Although Machiavelli never wrote a book called 5 Secrets to Dark Persuasion, many of his principles have inspired discussions about influence, negotiation, and manipulation. Today, we'll explore 5 lessons often linked to his philosophy, and, more importantly, how to recognize these tactics when others use them against you. Secret number 1. Control perception more than reality. Machiavelli believed that people often judge by appearances rather than by truth. Most people never see the complete picture. Instead, they make decisions based on what they observe on the surface. Think about influential leaders throughout history. They carefully managed how they dressed, spoke, and behaved in public. Their image became just as powerful as their actual abilities. This teaches an important lesson: perception shapes influence. Someone skilled at persuasion understands that confidence often appears more convincing than uncertainty, even when both people possess the same knowledge. They know that first impressions linger, and that consistent appearances build trust. However, this principle also serves as a warning. Attractive appearances can hide selfish motives. A confident speaker isn't always correct, and a charming personality isn't always trustworthy. The wise person looks beyond appearances and asks, do this person's actions consistently match their words? True wisdom comes from seeing past the performance. Secret number 2. Understand people's desires. Machiavelli observed that human beings are driven by predictable motivations. People seek security, recognition, wealth, love, success, and status. Anyone who understands these desires gains tremendous influence. A skilled persuader doesn't begin by talking about themselves. Instead, they ask questions. They listen carefully. They discover what the other person values most. Then they present their ideas in a way that connects with those desires. Imagine 2 people trying to convince someone to invest in a project. The first says, "I need your help." The second says, "This opportunity could increase your income and strengthen your reputation." Which message sounds more persuasive? The second succeeds because it speaks directly to the listener's interests. This isn't necessarily manipulation. Ethical leaders use this understanding to inspire people toward positive goals. Manipulators, however, exploit those same desires for personal gain. The difference lies in intention. Secret number 3. Keep your emotions under control. One of Machiavelli's most practical lessons is that emotions can become weaknesses when left unchecked. Anger clouds judgment. Fear creates hesitation. Excitement leads to careless decisions. The person who remains calm while everyone else reacts emotionally often gains the advantage. Picture a difficult negotiation. One individual becomes frustrated and begins arguing loudly. The other remains composed, listens carefully, and speaks only when necessary. Who appears stronger? Usually, the calm individual. People naturally trust those who remain steady under pressure. Manipulators often try to provoke emotional reactions because emotional people become easier to influence. That's why emotional self-control is one of the greatest forms of protection against manipulation. The less predictable your emotions become, the harder you are to control. Secret number 4. Reveal less than you know. Machiavelli frequently emphasized the value of strategy and careful planning. One principle often attributed to his philosophy is simple: don't reveal every thought immediately. People who constantly share every plan, every opinion, and every weakness give others valuable information. Strategic thinkers observe more than they speak. They gather information before making important decisions. This doesn't mean becoming dishonest. It means recognizing that timing matters. Sometimes silence communicates more power than endless explanation. Have you ever noticed how experienced negotiators often pause before answering? That pause creates space. It encourages the other person to speak more. Often, they reveal information they never intended to share. Listening can be far more persuasive than talking. Knowledge gathered through patience becomes an advantage. Secret number 5. Balance fear and respect. Perhaps Machiavelli's most misunderstood idea comes from his famous discussion about whether it is better for a ruler to be loved or feared. His conclusion wasn't that leaders should become cruel. Rather, he argued that respect supported by clear consequences is more reliable than affection alone. Friendships can change. Popularity can disappear. But consistent standards create stability. In everyday life, effective leaders combine kindness with firmness. They treat people fairly. They communicate expectations clearly. They follow through consistently. Manipulative individuals twist this principle into intimidation and control. Healthy leadership earns respect through integrity. Manipulation demands obedience through fear. Learning the difference is essential. Real authority never needs constant threats. It is built through competence, consistency, and trust. Final thoughts. Machiavelli's philosophy has fascinated readers for over 500 years because it explores human nature without illusions. His ideas remind us that influence is powerful. It can be used to build nations, inspire communities, protect families, and create lasting success. But the same principles can also be misused for selfish purposes. The greatest lesson isn't learning how to manipulate others. It's learning how manipulation works so that you can recognize it, resist it, and make wiser decisions. When someone tries to impress you with appearances, look for consistent actions. When they appeal to your desires, ask who truly benefits. When they provoke your emotions, remain calm. When they seek information, choose your words carefully. And when they demand fear instead of earning respect, question their intentions. Power without wisdom becomes manipulation. Wisdom without integrity becomes empty knowledge. But influence guided by honesty, discipline, and good character can change lives for the better. Perhaps that is the deepest lesson we can take from Machiavelli, not merely to understand power, but to use it responsibly, while recognizing it in the hands of others. Thank you for listening.